Paul Union, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshare, on the show tonight as the First Lady of Rangers Radio, along with Bridgeman. How we doing? Linda, how we doing, Bridge?
Good evening, Oxshare. Evening, Bridgeman. Evening, everyone. I hope you're all well.
Well, thank you very much. Can I just say a huge good evening to you two guys? Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby. And to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, desperate to see our team. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I've been getting sent photographs the last couple of days. People having their lunch at Ibrox, looking and enjoying to see the old ladies looking well, Linda.
Oh yes, I've seen a few photos as well, Ox. I was there myself before Christmas, had a lovely meal, and I can't wait to get back. But the surrounding area with all the, the flags up, all the work that's getting done, and I saw some stuff today on the new Edmondson House and what the museum's going to be like. I read a wee bit about that on the website, so it's very exciting times.
Bridge is looking to go where it's a 2-for-1 happy hour and he can use his managers.
No, I didn't realise they'd released something about it, and I was reading it just for a few seconds there. I was very, very happy, and I think that I've been desperate for that, and Oxley and I have spoken about this for the last couple of years, what we would like to get out of it, and most assuredly get it joined to the stadium, so people don't need to go anywhere. Aye. No, not the museum, Edmondson House.
We were talking about the restaurant being open, Bridge.
Oh, the restaurant? Oh, I love that restaurant. Aye, okay, it's no problem. That's the one upstairs looking in.
Aye, I think somebody sent you pictures yesterday, didn't they? Rubbing it in at you. That good friend of ours, Southside, sent me now. I was extremely upset. I'm sitting in the house reading, I go, what is he doing? He sent me another one laughing at me. No problem. So good on, and obviously, hopefully it shows we're slowly getting back to normality. But yeah, while you brought that up, Bridge, we'll talk about it. The museum and all the building work that's going on at Ibrox. Hopefully we get some join-up thinking. It looks as if we might have that, Bridge.
Oh, I think the board have been very keen for this, particularly for our 150th. I think it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. I think anybody who was ever in when it opened, the old Edmondson House when it opened, it was a tremendous place. Great for in there for a pint and things like that. I hope this services the fans the way the fans really want to be serviced, and make sure.
I don't know if you're going to, what you're going to realise that you're not going to get 20,000 in it in a Saturday.
Oh God, no! It's not expected. Not expected. But it's got to be there. When people come to Ibrox, they want to get a cup of tea or whatever, then we should have something there for it. Obviously, they'll have looked into this and done all their analysis. So whatever it is they do, but the mere fact that they've got the shop in it, then there's going to be people coming in, and that's for sure.
Yeah. Joined up thinking, Linda. That's all I'm looking for. Yeah.
Okay, everything, all the sort of pieces are just slowly coming together, aren't they, Ox? And it's great to see. And I noticed a wee bit on the museum today, they've got a working group set up that's looking at covering all the areas of our history. But interestingly enough, they're looking for fans to provide them with some material. So I read that they're looking for stuff in the 1970s and before. They're looking for stuff on the 1950s and 1960s teams. And also, I thought this might be interesting, so I don't know if anybody's got any strips out there that they can
no strips. Bridget's still got that shirt. That's definitely a 1960s shirt.
Yeah. With a long collar, I just love it. Absolutely brilliant. And the flares, absolutely excellent stuff. Excellent.
I'll tell you what. I hope he doesn't mind saying I'll just get Rangers to borrow young Jambo, Stevie's son's bedroom. every decade's mentioned in there.
There you go. I know, but no, it's wonderful just reading about what's happening, isn't it? And as you say, everything's all joined up, and we're all singing from the same hymn sheet as well. And what a celebration it's going to be.
For me, I mean, the shop, the museum, you do the tour, you maybe halfway through it, you stop in the cafeteria or dining area, or you can book a table and then you do the second half of the museum. Yeah. If you want to do it with a guide and rather than do it on your own, and people it becomes a day out and an experience. And obviously, we're trying to get shillings off of people. I know that'll be like easy with me and you, Linda, but it's a bit more difficult with people at bridge, you know. You've got to work at it. But if we get the experience right and we make it enjoyable, people will come. Build it and they will come.
Yeah. Fans come. Yeah. Sorry, Bridge.
Linda. No, apologies, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, Bridge fans obviously coming from, abroad when we play the European ties, etc. When you go abroad yourself, and if you're an away fan, you want to do the tour of the stadium, certain grounds that you go to, and then you've just got people coming to this country for holidays, etc. They'll want to go to the museum, so it's absolutely right, Ox. It's make the experience, part of the whole occasion, and people will come to see to the stadium, no problem at all.
What was the tour you done, Bridge? You done the Berlin Stadium the night before Jesse Owens won the gold medal. And then you done the Bernabeu, didn't you?
That's a shame, Bridge.
It's been a long time. I mean, way back when it first opened, it was really forward thinking. It covered everything, and a lot of clubs just followed it because they got something attached to their ground, and the fans could go to it. They just go to it, even if it was just going for your ticket and talk to people and things and all that nonsense, And it was great. It was really great. And the Edmiston House as an entertainment area, it was really good. Obviously, it went bad. Things went bad, and I don't remember when we lost it. But a lot of fans would be really happy to see it back or something back, because that thing just lay there so bad.
And that's it. The club that became. I mean, the back end of the Edmiston House used to be the Rangers Pool, didn't it?
That's right, Mark. Yeah.
And that was, if you think back, that was the biggest. Apart from Littlewood's pools and maybe Vernon's, that was third in the country. It's hard to imagine how big Rangers Pools was, Bridget.
It was the biggest private pools running in the country for sure. There's nothing. Nobody else had anything like it. All my uncles, 4 or 5 of them were, agents.
Agents,
selling the tickets,
Every work at the Rangers Pools agent.
Absolutely. Just think of the places you worked in the Clyde there. Thousands of people in there. You go in there, 4 or 5 of you guys go in there and selling the Rangers Pools or whatever pools you want to sell. You'll sell them. You'll definitely sell them. Brilliant. Just brilliant. And they used to announce it at half time. One of the Rangers Pools. Brilliant.
So let's hope we get. It looks as if it's fit for purpose. It looks as if the board know what they're doing. We make the match day experience improve for the people who can get in there. We make the facility work for the club to earn money, and make it enjoyable when people go out to buy strips, etc. And the mother can get a cup of coffee while she's waiting, and the boy in the fair are tripping around the shop, Linda. We're not looking for a lot, are we?
No, not really. But the shop, as you say, is going to be a big sort of draw for people as well. I mean, the shop that's there just now, obviously, it's big, but it could be so much bigger in terms of the stock and the choices. I was in the one at Buchanan Galleries last week, and that's tiny compared to the one at the stadium. So I'm assuming that when it's over at the new Edmiston House, it's probably going to be a lot bigger. But all the different facilities, be able to go for a coffee, because I think we've spoken about this before. We all seem to go to different places. I know you guys, congregate at the Bistro Bridge, but having somewhere to go, at the stadium to go and spend your money in there. I mean, that's what everybody would rather do. So it's, as I said earlier, it's quite exciting, and we're getting into it as champions as well, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm. Bridge will get them spending their money in it. Ox, get me this, Ox, get me that. He's good at that.
Love it. Great stuff. No, the bistro is magic. You're going to meet the boys in that. But if you get a wee spot to go to in Edmiston House, it's brilliant, because a whole lot of people, they maybe spill out of the Loudon and make their way up, and other guys come for the other Loudon and a few other pubs in Paisley Road West, and they can try to get in and get a quick pint before they get into the stadium. It's really nice. Really nice. Good thoughts. And
I see there's a focus group tomorrow. tomorrow at 9:30 concerning the catering at the stadium. I mean, we've got some professional caterers within our ranks of Rangers Radio. No names, no pack grills, but it'd be interesting to see their thoughts, because it's been a constant bone of contention through the last 10 years, isn't it, Bridge? You know.
Well, somehow or other, we just, like a lot of the things within our leagues and our associations, we just can't move. We get hamstrung. So some of the contracts that we've signed in the past have proven to be bad for us. And that's what's
that
happened.
Suggests to me that must be coming to an end if they're looking to ask people what they want. And for me, Linda, your seat number apps and all that's the way to go. And contactless as much as you can, no money, makes it easier. I know that Jim Hanna was on here, say a couple of years ago, Bridgeman, and he was talking about your sort of Rangers card. It could be your My Dear's card, and you have credit on that, and you use that to purchase in the shop, and you use it to purchase at the stadium. You know?
Absolutely. No, that's 100% right. And maybe within our shop, you can't take, maybe cashless, you know? I don't know how we would do it, but if I can get it cashless.
Quicker, makes everything quicker, and also more hygienic.
Indeed, pal, indeed.
And an app now where you order stuff and it gets brought to your seat number. Well, they've been doing that in America for years, bringing stuff to your seat. How difficult is it to put a hot bovril and a decent pie in a container and bring it to Bridge's seat?
That would be wonderful, Bridge.
You know, I'm just laughing because my memories go back, and I know that the Skipper and CCV, they all know this, and you're thinking, you're standing there and somebody comes past you shouting, you're here, macaroon bars, get in there, 2 for a penny, or whatever it was, you know. Incredible stuff.
And ham rolls.
That's it, and ham roll, you know.
And also as well, Oxen Bridgeman, recently during the pandemic, we've all got more used to ordering stuff through an app, you know, food and drink and stuff like that, and then you actually go and collect it as well, Ox, so that might actually even save time, and it might save queues.
He phones me up and he says, "Ox, what's the back of the 3 numbers on your card again?" You know, it's some man, you know.
The security numbers.
He was kind enough to give me them.
I fall for it every time, Linda. I fall for it every time.
Ox, can I just say, you were talking about Rangers Pools agents earlier on. It didn't ring a bell with me, but my brother sent me a wee message there to say that my dad was a Rangers Pools agent. So
there you are. And people loved it. People loved it, you know.
A wee shout out to me. It was his 80th birthday last week, so he's still going strong. So there you go.
Well done.
He done well to have you when he was 55, Linda, eh?
That's right, aye. And
don't you go there.
And that was my dad I was talking about. His 80th, no, my brother, before I get a text from him as well.
Your brother's 92.
But then, that's a wee thing that you didn't know that, you know. So Rangers Pools people were really good people. They were vetted and everything, you know. The local vets looked at them.
Matty's house in Drummoyne that we used to go to regular when I was growing up, just along from Ibrox. On a Sunday, there was all sorts of people coming in, drapping after money for the Rangers Pools. You know, it was just it's a different world, I suppose.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Of course, that went in line with what the society was then, because they never had, I'm talking when I was young, they never had the on-street bookies. You could only book on...
when would they come in the 60s, Bridge?
Yeah, in the 60s. And the guys used to come round, and I remember there was a few out in Chapel. And the one when I was living in Brighton, was Chick, his name was, go and get that money to Chick, and give him that bit of paper. I run away with Chick, yeah. Put that bet on for me. Brilliant. Of course, he never told me what I was doing, because if somebody stopped me and said something, I would say, I'm only getting that to that man there. You know,
but just going back to the weekend, Linda, I know your weekend was busy, but your thoughts on Sunday, Linda?
Oh, it was just a great result and a great performance, wasn't it? You guys have covered the match. The players really upped their game from the previous week, didn't they? Because obviously we were all extremely disappointed with that. I thought they played brilliant, scored 4 fantastic goals and some terrific performances from some of the individuals as well, Ox, wasn't there? Kent, Ruth, Morelos. I think it was Ruth that got man of the match, but there was just a good few of them must have been in the running for that. I just thought they played terrific, and I know the other team created some chances too, but we created a few more other than the 4 goals that we scored. So they really, really repaid us with a great performance, and it's fantastic that we just kept this unbeaten run going.
Yeah, well said, Linda. Well said. It's turning out to be, obviously we can debate on, and we will debate going forward about the cup performances, but you'd have snapped your hand off for this in August, Linda.
Oh, absolutely, Ox. We actually wanted them to just make sure that they challenged all the way to the end of the season, didn't we, when we talked about it, at the beginning of this season? We didn't want any kind of a capitulation after the sort of Christmas winter break, and we wanted them to just mount a serious challenge, and they've done that tenfold. And somebody reminded me today that we won the league on the 7th of March. You forget how long ago that was, don't you? So it's just been an unbelievable achievement by the whole squad.
We won the league, and the Rangers radio showreel, where we play the shows in the archives of MixLR, it's that far back, it's heading towards the 3rd page, the winning the league show.
No, there you go. That says it all. Unbelievable.
It's... mental. Aye, I would have took your arm off it. Right, Bridge, I think we'll get these phone lines opened before we talk about some of the other news that's come out of the club today. I just want to say if people have got any thoughts on the matchday experience, what's happened with the museum, what they'd like to hear about the catering, if they want to put their views forward, because I know people for the show, the club, they listen. We're all open to ideas. Let's get the phone lines open, Jules. Is that all right with you two?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I do think that happened, catering to the seats and taking that away for the actual stalls is the way to go, Linda, and obviously we've got assets in our stadium. I've said before, the concourses, to expand them, to put better toilet facilities in and improve everything. It's a way forward. I accept the board candidate right away. There's a time and a place for everything, but I think it's something that we could be striving to do going forward.
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. That, as you say, there will be a plan, and it's all about generating income and all these sort of sponsorships that we've entered into. I know they announced the extension of the 32 Red this week, so it does take money, and all these partnerships that we've obviously increased the numbers as well this season. So it'll all generate expenditure, cash, so that we can actually do the upgrades to the stadium as well. I would agree with you about the toilet facilities. I think that's a priority for them. Obviously these queues up to the actual kiosks as well. I don't think the quality's that great in terms of the food, but if they get feedback and they're willing to listen to the fans, it's all good stuff. But it is going to depend on how much money they've got in terms of the bank balance to be able to, do this in stages, I think.
Aye, obviously we're hoping, Bridgeman, that if you get the food right, that becomes an asset, it becomes a revenue spinner, eh?
Yeah, absolutely right. There's a lot of folk don't go and get food because it's rotten. That's what they say, innit? So we do need to, and I think you just touched on it just earlier there, saying that there's some sort of meeting going on maybe tomorrow to talk about
it. Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so if they're going to talk about these things, and they know, everybody that goes to Ibrox knows, they might not don't use it, so I don't know for myself, but listening to my pals and my cousins and that, they all use it. The ones that use it say they're rotten, that rock hard pie, but they eat because they're hungry.
It's easy. You get a John Gregg's pie, don't you?
John Gregg's. Get one of that Gregg's. That's brilliant, by the way, Oxy. That's brilliant. Super.
And an Alec McDonald burger.
Alec McDonald burger, aye. Just great. The patter's brilliant. I'll tell you, the patter's brilliant.
I was disappointed when they did away with the blue nose burger. I thought that was quite good, but
that's the way they should go. The Champion's hot dog. Somebody mentioned that today. Champion's hot dog, foot long.
Yeah.
But if you get it right, it's a money spinner. And also, I think there's a lot of people who would like to meet inside the stadium and spend their half one to half two in the stadium when they're spending money.
Yeah. And one of the big sort of blockers on that, Ox, has been the lack of Wi-Fi in the stadium as well. We've touched on that before. I think when you walk up to the stadium, you lose. Personally, I'm only talking about my network, but I think it's the same for everybody. You lose your signal within kind of 400 or 500 yards from the stadium. And then when you get into the stadium, you can't even, go on to your phone to check things. So, but my understanding is that they have sorted that, haven't they? They've got a new Wi-Fi provider. It's there just, it's going to be in the stadium for us, hopefully going back next season. So if you go to the stadium, whether you're inside there or you're in New Edmondson House, you do want to spend time, and folk obviously go over early to try and beat the traffic. So you're at the stadium an hour, maybe even 2 hours beforehand. So there is a lot of options there for us in terms of spending money. So it'll be good for the fans, definitely.
Aye, and also if you go along with a kid or a family, you want them to enjoy the experience, don't you? You want them. You're not looking for them to maybe get cordon bleu, but you're looking for them to get what they like. Kids, it's a changed day. It's changed days, isn't it? I know that we have to move on. There's a place for a pie and a bovril, but things have also moved on in another way. So we have to look at the families, the kids, get it right. Think about the future support as well. Because that is the kids they're the future of our club.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you make that, as you say, that whole match day experience, make it a complete thing. They could have certain packages for that as well, where folk maybe spend a tenner, but they get X, Y and Z for that. And Rangers fans, we've always supported the club. We've always wanted to spend money. What is it? Big Stevie says the blue pound. You say that as well. So, we've shown that we're willing to put our money into the club. So give us something worthwhile, and we'll absolutely oblige.
Best fans in the world for supporting our team, both in the stadiums and travelling and all the rest of it, and buying for the club, buy the club gear, put into the club. And the mere fact that we gave them season ticket money last season and never saw our team. That is quite incredible. Now, I know other teams have done the same thing, but Rangers fans they want to do it. We've done it again. Well, I don't know how many thousands, 25,000 or something or more renewed. It's just incredible. Was that bad?
I think it's 25. I think it was 30,000 already, mate. Yeah. But we're fantastic. But look, we get it right. We get it right on and off the park. Build it. They will come. Move the toilet facilities into the 21st century. Let's move them. Let's move them. Go and copy other ideas. Look how space is used, etc. It's not difficult, but it takes time and it also takes money, unfortunately. But if we get it right, it'll help everybody and it'll stimulate growth for the club, Bridgeman.
Absolutely. And the idea that they could create a new some further seats, increase the seating by dropping the pitch. That's a good idea. Obviously, if it works, and it'll be a good idea. But if they go ahead and do that and get new seating, I want them to get a top quality pitch, absolutely top quality. I don't like to see you're sitting in a beautiful stadium, looking to watch the game, marvellous. Outside looks marvellous, but when you sometimes see the pitch, and it's a bit of a shame. We get huge big bare patches and all that over here. So we can get that sorted. That's what I'd like to see. Not tomorrow, because that's not going to happen.
No, I think when they had it was disease bridge. Back, it was disease. No, this season, but last season, and they did say it would take about 18 months to sort it. Yeah, But come and give us your thoughts, people. Be great to hear from them. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come on in.
Yeah, okay. We have to look at all the good stuff, we look at all the positive stuff, but I read something today that made me shiver, Linda.
What was that?
10 years ago, Craig White took control of Rangers.
Yeah. You know, there's every one of them that was involved in that. They've never been in the papers, really. You know, it's just, there's an anniversary, and it's mentioned the Rangers, and they're certain to sell papers of some description. But it's no Rangers fans that are buying the papers, that's for sure. That's just shocking. However, yeah, that's what he did. Sold it. Gave him £1. There you go, gave him £1.
Yeah, he gave him £1 and he took over the £18 million debt, funded that with tickets, so it was we actually funded the debt. I don't know. Yeah. How does that work? I don't know.
Well, that's what Man United did with the Glazers.
I know.
The Glazers bought it for $700 million or something like that, and put that straight onto the books as a debt.
Aye. I mean, how can that be legal?
I know. Unbelievable, isn't it? And he said he was a lifelong supporter, which he possibly was. He said he was going to invest something like $25 million over the next 5 years. So at that time as well, Ox and Bridgeman, we were obviously looking for somebody to help us out. I know that's an understatement, but we knew that we had financial difficulties. And obviously he talked a good game, but he was obviously, wasn't upfront about how he was funding it, using fan money, basically. But yeah, I think he gave obviously an interview today as well, and he was kind of painted as the victim, and that's not going down well with Rangers fans on social media. So, it was a shocking interview, I'm understanding.
Oh, it was Bridges' mate had done it, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who's that?
McLaughlin, I think.
McLaughlin, oh dear. Christopher.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, you watch your language. 10 years ago, obviously, we were on the crest of a wave. We were just going to clinch a championship. Kilmarnock, we went and clinched the championship.
Yeah.
We won that game. He was a new owner. Things were positive. Well, little did we know what was round the corner.
But Oxford, can I just say, you look at the press, Scottish press here, talking about the newspapers in particular, they made a fortune round about the Rangers time, and all they did was just produce. It might have been some of them genuine stories. A lot of the guys stopped buying the Daily Record because half of it was lies, and it continued. The lies continued. But you and I were at Hampden, and they said the crowd stopped the police getting into Hampden when Hibs supporters invaded the pitch. I mean, just utter rubbish, just utter lies, and they're still doing it. But the best thing about it is their sales are going die.
Yeah. All we look for, Linda, if our team play bad, we expect them to say it in the papers. If our team play well, we expect them to say it. If there's a negative story, which is true, we'll accept it. But to try and spin stories, that's what turned a lot of people off the media, Rangers related.
Yeah. As you say, we actually are the club's harshest critics at times, Ox, and I would like to say that, we're quite fair in our assessment. Yeah, we've all got blue-tinted specs at times, but, we've criticised the team when they haven't played well all during even Gerrard's tenure so far. But yeah, we're only looking for a sort of fair crack of the whip. But there's too many hidden agendas now sometimes in the media because there's associations with different clubs and you sometimes don't seem to get a fair crack of the whip. But yeah, we're just wanting, people to be honest in their assessment of the club and, concentrate a bit more on what we're doing sort of on the park because there's so many positives for Rangers and also for Scottish football when you even think about the European run we've had this year and the last 2 years.
Well said there. Well said, Linda.
Aye, the coefficient's at its highest it's been for years, and that's down to one club, Bridge. One club.
And you can't be meaning that mob across the city, can you?
No. I'll say it again. I don't believe, and I've never checked this out, so if I'm wrong, and I have been wrong before, as I told you, 1983, but if I'm wrong, they've not won a knockout tie since 2003, which is after the group stages, yeah. Not talking about qualifiers, I'm talking about actual knockout tie.
So they've got through the group stages and then into the actual, what do you call it, the league part of it. And let's say the last 16, the last 32.
They've not won a knockout tie. Yeah.
They're a disgrace then. They're a disgrace anyway.
See me forget that, you know. See me forget that. How well they done for Scottish football, huh? Oh dear, oh dear. Yep.
Somebody was telling me today that, that the TV companies down in your area, Sky TV, are employing Mr. Lurgan Bigot. He's on the TV a lot down there. That's what I'm hearing.
Sky's national, mate. Sky's national.
Yeah, I know, pal. I know, but it's talking about for the leagues, talking about this English games.
I don't know. I've not seen them. By the way, I've got to say, this is with some sadness. I should have said this story right at this top of the show. It's really with some sadness I have to say this to Rangers Radio and to yourselves. I really thought it was really, really sad to read today that Shane Duffy's went back to Brighton.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to say myself. Apparently, when I'm sent back early. One game left in the season, send them back early. What's the point of that? For God's sake.
By the way, Bridge, I think you get more votes in our player of the season than Ryan Kent.
Oh boy.
We were lobbying for him to get offered a new contract, Ox.
I think we weren't lobbying, we were crowdfunding.
It's quite sad. I know we can laugh, but it's quite sad because for him, for Duffy, this guy was playing. I don't know how well he played in English Premiership, but he was playing for Brighton, where we got our centre back from, Big Goldson. And look at the difference that we've had from Goldson to what Celtic got from him. Don't get me wrong, I'm quite happy. He was rotten anyway, and they were rotten. But maybe that's because one of them was. Both of them were the same. What am I talking about? Both the same. I'm happy. That was well said there, Roxy.
Yep. Well, come and join us. Give your thoughts. The floor's all yours, Linda, isn't it?
Absolutely. Come and talk all things Rangers.
What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Okay, I did laugh at that. Linda, you sent me a message here on the day. I think some of it was a wee bit inflated, shall we say, but I think the point you were making in the message you sent to me was the value that Steven Gerrard's put into our squad.
Yeah, Ox, it was just some valuations that Rangers fans were just talking about on social media. I think probably, as you said, there's some of them a wee bit overinflated, particularly when you take into consideration the age of some of the players. But I think it totalled something like 191 million. So I do think that's, as I said, it's a bit exaggerated. But when you think about, we didn't really have any player assets at all, really. Maybe a couple of exceptions before Gerrard arrived. He certainly changed that around for us, I think.
Okay, I'll ask you two then to just rack your brains. I know that'll right. So if we're being honest, how many, all right, over £5 million players, or maybe how many over £10 million players do you think we've got in our squad now?
Right.
Now that if you think about it, put you two years on the spot.
So over 5 million first stocks, you said?
Or 10, whatever. Obviously, if you're over 10. Who's the big hitters for you then? Who's our big assets? Apart from myself, of course.
Apart from your good self, yes. I would say Morelos. I would say Kent.
Yep.
Kamara.
Yep.
I would go Goldson.
Potentially, aye.
Yeah. Tavernier.
Interesting.
And this might be controversial, but I'm going to say Hadji.
Aye, I'm going to argue with that. Aye.
Yep.
What about Joe Aribo?
Joe Aribo's in there too, yep. I would say they're all maybe above 12 million Ox.
Above 12 million.
Barisic.
Yeah, Barisic.
Wow.
Helander.
Yeah, Helander. All right. Basically, we're first team bar Davis and McGregor, who are just at some of the ranges against the minute.
Maybe above 10 Ox, actually. Maybe above 10. That was maybe a bit too ambitious there.
Well, I think the season's going to close quite rapidly now in the next couple of weeks, end of the season, and things will happen. Now, the players will be away on holiday, and no doubt the players will be away on holiday and celebrating their league win. And then 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, when they start to filter back, my goodness gracious, things are going to start happening. I don't know whether the club can get rid of people that quickly, if you follow what I mean. But I would imagine by mid-June, the ones that they don't want will have been gone. I'm quite sure of it. I
don't know if it's the ones we don't want. It's the ones that maybe people who've got a price on their head. That's interesting. But I think the point Linda was trying to make, when Gerrard walked in the door, what did we have? We had Ryan Jack, James Tavernier, the Buff. Would that be it? Maybe Candias, maybe a bit of value in him. Would that be fair? Boys with potential, Greg Docherty, Ross McCrory. Nothing more?
I don't think Tavernier was as good as he is now. I think Tavernier's grown.
I don't think he was, but
and his price is growing.
He still had a value in his head, maybe £1 million, £2 million, whatever you think he was worth. He was still scoring goals and attacking fullback in modern football. But now, Linda, I don't know. It's a real difficult one. How much assets in that squad? He's done a fantastic job for us, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think you were covering some of his numbers, was it maybe last night, in terms of his appearances and his goals since he came to the club. And he's certainly just added absolute quality this year, hasn't he, Ox? And he's on the shortlist for the Football Writers Association, the Player of the Year Awards. I think I said to you, they have been announced today. And Tav, it's 4 Rangers players, it's not surprising, but Tav's been nominated. And I think I read as well that in the first half of this season, he had scored something like 17 goals in his first 27 appearances. I mean, that's unbelievable return. I know there was penalties in there, but it's still some cracking numbers, isn't it?
Aye, so he's an asset that's went through the roof. No pun intended. The boy Helander, Goldson, we've doubled all our money on these potentially minimum, and then Barisic, big profit. Kamara, £50,000. Joe Aribo, £750,000. Ryan Kent, I know, a big signing for us, $7.5 million. How much do you reckon he's worth now, Linda? Ryan Kent?
Well, I've got him down as maybe 20 million. I agree with the valuations that were nicking about in social media. I just think that I think so, Ox. I mean, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? Not the whole season, but he's certainly improved even from the season before.
Yeah. The boy, how much is Nathan Patterson worth?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I dare say if you want to cage him against other players of his age, I don't know. He's only had about 5 or 6 games, isn't he? Really, but he's getting close. He's getting close. He's a very, very high. I would suggest it's somewhere between 6-7 million. That's what I would suggest.
There you go for a boy. I mean, that was maybe the value of our whole first team when Gerrard walked in the door.
Exactly. But if Rangers were thinking in selling that lad based on the form he's had, and people are interested in buying him, then they would probably have to pay. I would suggest 6-7 million, or even upwards to 8. Well, there's a lot of folk who say it's over 10 million, but I don't know if he would go that far. But he's a wonderful player.
But it'd be good to hear people's thoughts. Come and join us. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come in here.
come and join, phone in, speak to the receptionist, and we will sort you out and bring you in. Easy, Linda, isn't it?
Oh yes, it'd be lovely to hear from all the bears out there tonight.
Or Bearettes, Linda, come on.
Or Bearettes, yes, of course.
Very sexist. Very sexist.
Yeah, very sexist there, Linda.
Don't tell anybody.
You've been found out, shocker. Oh, magic, innit? Just magic. I've been so happy. I've been non-stop smiling. My wife's fed up with me smiling. And everything I want to talk about is it begins and ends with football, particularly Rangers. You know, the whole thing, my whole life revolves around Rangers. She says to us, she says, if we ever get another house, you're not getting in it. You're not getting in my kitchen. Because I'm sitting in the kitchen and she's sitting listening to whatever it be, Coronation Street or something, you know. But she's going to keep quiet when she comes in the kitchen. Which isn't fair, is it? Isn't fair?
Well, tell her for us, she's failed miserably over the years.
And that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah.
You know.
Fox, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What's the subject?
No, just talking about the valuations. Do you still think there's a real possibility that we are going to have to sell one of our sort of bigger assets in the summer?
I think players will always come and go. It's always been part of football, and even more so, if you like, since Bosman. So you've got a decision to make.
Yeah.
You know, if we've got somebody like Glenn Kamara and the club are saying to tie him down for a deal, and he's saying no at the moment, he's happy with his lot, and somebody comes in and bids 15 million for, say, Glenn Kamara, I'm just popping that number out of the sky. What do you do? What would you do if it was your business? £15 million and the guy can walk out the door for nothing in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
He's getting sold. You know? He's getting sold, if it was me.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very difficult because you don't know loss of form, injury. You know, that asset could be in 2 years' time worth nothing. Yeah. So you've got that call to make constantly, and it's difficult. Bridgeman?
Yeah, and the Rangers have suffered for that before when people had to go. Otherwise, they'd have got nothing for them and so on and so forth. Or indeed, because the club needed them. I think we sold Jelavic to Everton for about 4 million. We could have got probably 14 million, if you follow what I mean. So it's we do things and we get caught out at the last minute. I want us to be as professional as possible and to get real valuation. What we value, that's what we're looking for the players. Other clubs can do it. I don't know why Rangers haven't succeeded in doing it up to now anyway. So we'll need to see. Unless there's some sort of...
So players will come and go. So I think that's the managers always... The managers in recruitment always have plans in place to react if something happens. That's their job, Linda, if you ask me. That's their job.
Yeah. I think that the guy Ross Wilson seems to be right on the ball, doesn't he? We've all been quite impressed by him, I think. One of the other players, I don't think he signed an extension yet, correct me if I'm wrong, is Connor Golson, because his contract's up next year, Ox, and there was sort of a talk that he might sign an extension, but that would be somebody that if he isn't intending to stay or sign the extension, his contract, is there a possibility that he could be the one that goes?
Nah, you'll never know. And also, we don't know what's in their contracts. We don't know what the deal is in their contracts. And better we should. We're fans and shareholders, etc. But that's personal between them and their employer, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's a possibility. Sorry, on you go, Bridge.
I don't even know.
No, I was going to say...
I've not even seen Bridges' contract for Rangers Radio. I know it's a lot better than mine.
I think that Big Golson has been a star for us, an absolute star. And I do hope that whomever it is going to negotiate it, whether it be Gerrard or Wilson or whomever, I hope they get their figures right, because he's a very straight-talking man, but some led to believe. So he'll get. I think he'll sign on. He just loves it. But if there's any chance at all, for instance, of getting back down to the Premiership for maybe the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons of his career, then who would blame him for not going? But we want Rangers to get a good tidy sum for it. Don't want to be in for nothing. Don't want it. We don't need that. I just think he's great. He's great. Sign him up.
It's difficult, Wonder. It's difficult because obviously agents are involved and they're trying to maximise their players, their so-called players' value. You know, we look at it differently for fans. The club have got to protect their interests. You know.
Yeah, and I think I think if Goldson wants to stay, as Bridge said, I think the club will, no problem, I think, offer him the extension if he does, because he's played every minute of every game, hasn't he? And I know the first couple of seasons under Gerrard, he did make some mistakes at crucial times, Ox, but I think this year he's been particularly consistent, hasn't he, over all the games. But as Brid said, he might fancy one more crack at the Premiership, and it might be his last sort of big contract. So yeah, you're talking about agents' cuts for that as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
I just hope he stays, and I hope the club look after him. Because if he stays, then he'll probably be staying for until the end of his career. I don't know if he's got any intention of doing any coaching when he retires or anything like that. Now, I'm talking about retiring, but he's 29, I think it is now. Coming up to 29.
Check exactly what age he is, you know.
So if he signs an extension, it's going to be that'll keep him there. That's for potentially keep him for another 4 years. So that'll stick him into the 32, 33 bracket. Now, I know the players can go on and on if they look after themselves, but we can offer them the incentives of a season here and a season there. But maybe we'd want him for a coach. I don't know. I just love to see these people staying with Rangers and starting to flourish in their beginning of their coaching career, and then go away, do the business.
He's only 29 at Christmas, mate. He's only 28 this new corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's been an absolute stalwart in the shall we say the main foundation of the Rangers defence, and that can be seen in his performances.
I mean, he had 54 appearances his first season, 52 he slipped a bit, and then 54 this year.
Went shooting a bit. Can't he know about it?
That was his season finished early, wasn't it? And then 54 this year. You know,
that's unbelievable.
Two to go, Oxford.
45 games that guy's played for us in Europe. 45 games.
And I'll tell you what, he would never have thought that. When he first came up here, never in his life would he have got 45. And if he stayed with them in England, he wouldn't get 5 games in Europe. I mean, in 45. So he's had a tremendous football career with Rangers. Tremendous. And the fans love him.
Well, I think at this moment in time, we love all the players. You know, there's a special bunch, Linda, and there's. We're grateful.
Can I ask you two guys a question? I can't imagine any player at the moment playing for the Rangers that would want to leave, would actually want to leave when next season, providing we win a league, right? Next season, we'll get straight in. We can go straight through into the group stages. I mean, that is just unbelievable, and that's what Rangers have done. So one club, if we win the league, we're in there. We're getting through. Oh, this is just fantastic. So they're a great thing. Any player playing for us now, they're going to go into a chance to get into the European Champions League proper at the end of this season, beginning of this next season. So.
But put it into context. John Gregg only played 81 European games for the Spritch.
Yeah,
and Connor Golson's already at 45. I know the competitions are different, but wow.
John, it's actually quite crazy, isn't it? It's actually quite crazy. I just love the guy again. I love all the Rangers fans, the Rangers players to stay with us and carry us along. Because they're a tremendous side, a great team, and that last game against them, it sort of moulded them together even further, you know. So that's great. Please.
Yeah. Some real positive, and then with other news that broke the day that Ryan Jack on Instagram saying that everything went well and bang, hopefully fit and dandy for pre-season, and off we go. That was good news. Linda?
Yeah, that's right. He said his operation had gone well and one eye on next season. I think Ryan Jack himself will be disappointed that he's missed a lot of games, Ox. And he's obviously for Rangers, and then for him as well, not being able to go to the Euros. So it's very disappointing, but he's obviously taken the right decision to have the procedure so that he's going to be fit and ready to go for next season. I mean, he's in terms of the midfield, I'm not saying that we've coped without him, because it would have been nice to have him for some of the games to even be able to rest some players. But when you think about what we've achieved this season, and we've had some really crucial players injured at certain times, it makes the season even more remarkable, doesn't it? But Ryan Jack, yeah, I would like to see him get himself fit and give us a good maybe even 40, 45 games next year.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at the Duffy one. Absolutely brilliant, man.
Brilliant. You don't take this show serious enough.
Oh, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. But seriously, the patter is incredible. Absolutely incredible. My young cousin phoned me up today, or rather texted me today, saying about the Ryan Jack thing. He's over the moon. Because I don't think he likes him better than I do, if you follow what I mean.
Right.
He really likes him. Because we both said that that's where he would be our next captain. He actually said that he will be a good captain for us, simply because he was the captain of Aberdeen,
By the way, it was very remiss of me also, and I'm not taking the P here, Linda. The Rangers radio badges sold out, done, kaput, all money raised.
Fantastic.
Did you get one?
Did I get one?
No. Did you get one, Linda?
Yes, the family have definitely went on and bought some, so I'm just waiting for mine to be given to me, basically. But what a fantastic cause, and it's not surprising, is it, that the listeners have actually went in and bought them all so quickly, Ox. And as we said, it is a great cause, and Rangers Radio and Big Stevie, great job.
I just don't think it's right. But I mean, I've spent my life where I was born subsidising people for Drumchapel. It's not right.
What a shocker! What a shocker! Subsidising people for the drum.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I take my hat off to Old School Blue and my big mate, Big Stevie, who's having a bad time at the moment. Let's just leave it at that. Hopefully he bounces back this week. Maybe overindulged a bit at the weekend, shall we say.
Right.
So
for a good cause.
Yes, but they've organised it between them with 300 badges to raise money, obviously cover the costs and make money. A lot of donations have come in. Fantastic. I'm sure we'll get a final figure in the next week or so. And I just want to thank everybody here at Rangers Radio for the listeners who took part to help. And I know I was laughing, joking a bit, but what a fantastic cause to have a memorial parade to a young boy who was 16 years of age, who came to watch the Rangers in 1971 and never went home again. And it's part of the Rangers story. And let's hope that all these people are, and there's a section of them in the museum, because it's a big part of our history. And we might say never forgive and never forget, but on this occasion, it's so we never forget. So well done to Big Stevie, well done to Old School Blue, and well done to everybody who's purchased the badges and made donations. We can't thank you enough. And that will help subsidise the parade for a year or possibly a wee bit longer, which is fantastic for all the people who are involved in it. Once again, a big thanks for everybody here at Rangers Radio.
Here, Ox.
Well said, Ox, yeah. Well said.
Yeah. But we know we like to take the P, but on a serious note, it is a great, and thank you. Rangers Radio is not for profit. And if we do anything for money, the prize either goes to the punters who listen, or the money goes to good causes. We can't be any fairer than that, Linda, can we?
Cannot. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Rangers Radio. Fantastic.
Yep. And hopefully everybody will have their badges within the next year or so and wear it with pride. But somebody was spotted in Braehead with Rangers Radio. Braehead today was spotted.
Wow.
I get sent a picture, spotted in Braehead with a Rangers Radio badge on, the new one.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Do we know who it is?
Oh.
I'm only joking.
Aye. But a real worthy cause, and once again, thank you. And thank you to Big Stevie for all the work he does for a lot of organisations, but obviously very, very popular contributor to Rangers Radio, yeah?
Yes. That's right.
I don't know about popular.
All right.
Aye, a smashing guy. Brilliant big guy. Brilliant.
He's looking for a rise because he's a video star now on the every Saturday.
Yeah.
That's right. Brilliant.
He's not the only Rangers Radio contributor in that video, you know.
Oh, tell me who else is in it?
Let's just say one of the guys who texts you, he's in it.
Really?
Oh no. The suicide.
Mm-hmm. He's in it, so he's wanting to raise an all because he's in a video. I don't think it's the first video he's ever been in, but that's another story.
Shocking, isn't he? He's in some form tonight, isn't he? Shocker.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, you've got to laugh, Bridge. If you didn't laugh, you'd cry. If you didn't laugh,
it would make you cry, that's for sure.
Right, we'll get some callers starting to come in, but what we'll do is I think we'll maybe go to a tune. We get a tune and then bring the callers in. Is that all right with you two?
Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect, Ox.
Every Saturday we follow.
Do you like that one, Bridge?
I love it. Absolutely brilliant.
I'll tell you what, when they play that in that stadium and that stadium's rocking to that, that's going to be something else. There's just something about that song, Linda.
Oh, I can't wait. I've got goosebumps even thinking about that, Ox. I cannot wait to hear that in the stadium.
It means so much to a lot of people, you know. It means so much to a lot of people. That's all. It's just great. Wonderful. Cha-cha-cha.
All right, okay. Aye, that one's maybe especially for you, Bridge. I know you like it, but a cha-cha-cha. Right, Linda, get yourself on mute. We've got to have a tune.
Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When McAvenny scored the first, the beggars thought it was the first of many. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. It didn't take long to realise when Super Ali equalised. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then up stepped Super A. It was a 30-yarder all the way. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then Andrews claimed he couldn't see when Super Ali made it 3. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. The Ibrox fans, well, they wanted more when Kevin Drinkle made it 4. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when the Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, Ibrox Park, it came alive when the bold Mark Walters, he made it 5. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. He said to his wife the Celtic are shite oranges. Cha-cha, cha-cha, he got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews Oranges. He got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Enjoy that, Bridge? Bridge?
Still dancing. I'm still dancing. Oh, Rangers. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
When Jodie does that live, she's getting me, Southside, and some of the boys. She's going to call it Jodie and the Masonettes.
Oh, brilliant.
You know. Anyway, first and foremost, great to have been joined by a caller. Hey, at last, yeah. We've been joined by the one and only JFK. Evening, James.
Hi, Oxdear, Linda, Bridgeman. I just like to say a big thumbs up to that nice song there.
Oh,
Hi, Jimmy.
Do you want to tell them? Do you tell them, or do you want me to tell them?
Oh, on you go. You do it better.
Good evening, Jimmy. And how you doing, pal?
Hi, Bridgeman. I'm all right, pal.
Oh, I'm just going to dance up at the top of the kitchen again. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Do you remember
Hi,
the
Jimmy.
guy?
Hi, Linda. Nice to hear
Do you
you.
remember the guy who got involved with the DIY when he pushed the boys out the way and he done his knee? Do you remember that? It wasn't his knee done. It was, what did you do the last time, JFK?
Oh, Christ, I can't remember. There's that many.
Anyway. Well, once again, he pushed the 2 young boys out the way. Now, remember that these young boys, we're talking young boys, they're
Right.
above the size of your average bears. What's the average height between the two of them, JFK?
Graham's 6'7" and Mark's 6'3".
Right, so the wee one's 6'3". And Jimmy's 5'3".
5'6", and the milkman was 6'7".
Right. So the 5'6" guy pushes the 6'7" guy out the way. I'm going to do it, and he dislocates his thumb.
Oh, no.
And the big man has to get his friend's girlfriend round to put the thumb back in place. And there was a few expletives. Is that correct, Mr. JFK?
Yeah, quite a few.
Oh.
Which were heard in the West End of Glasgow and also the northwest of Glasgow, yes?
Yeah, and I think they were heard down in South England as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Apart from that,
shame.
how are you, JFK?
I'm absolutely tickety-boo, as you say, in Glasgow, mate. I'm brand new and been listening to the show, and a lot of good callers on, a lot of good guests and that. It's nice to hear Linda on again. That's my favourite caller of all. Our favourite panellist is Linda.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Cheers, are doing well. Great sorry, mate.
You're all smoothie.
Aye, mate. Aye. All habits die hard, you know what I mean? Wait till she sees me, mate. She's in for a shock. Tom Cruise hasn't got a look in.
I hope there isn't any Mankini on show.
No, I gave that to Big Stevie. He's turning up with it soon. Oh. It's been good. It's been good, guys. The results the last couple of weeks, especially the one against the Puddle Drinkers, was absolutely wonderful.
And I'm hearing a rumour. You stop me if this isn't true. I'm hearing a vicious rumour, JFK.
Yep.
That with the badges, you got 3 because there wasn't many left.
Yeah,
you
that's
told
right.
the guy to keep the change. Is this correct?
I told him to keep the change, mate.
Oh,
Aye.
what a man. You listening to that, Bridgeman. You listening to that.
There you go. Yep, I got my 3 badges. Took one for my boys. Another one's for my nice summer hat that I use for when I'm doing the garden. And I've got to do that myself because I do trust them to do the garden. It's got to be done. You know.
We'll see what happens next.
Well,
You never had any change, Oxford. You never had any change. You said just keep it because there was nothing to give him change for that.
Aye. Oh. Imagine the next time you speak to him when I'm out doing the garden, I make him out and say I've got my 5 toes are in a matchbox.
Anyway, we've also been joined by the one and only Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Come off of mute. Good evening, Ox, Bridgeman, Linda, and is that JFK I hear
Yes,
there?
indeed, Alex. How you doing, son?
Oh, top man.
Hi,
Good
Alex.
evening to the lotties. Hello, Linda.
Nice to hear you, Alec. Nice to hear you.
You too, Bridgeman. I hope you are all keeping well.
Yep.
I gave JFK a bit of advice, Alex, before I come to you. He's got to start being the gaffer in the house. Is that right, JFK?
Aye, well, no, it's hard in my house when you're actually below the dug, mate, you know.
I get it, mate. I understand.
You know, so that just tells you what kind of house I stay in, you know. Wife, 2 boys and a dog.
I'd Tinky Winky and Lala, the goldfish, and they were above me, mate.
Ah, well, I can understand that. You know where I'm coming from.
Aye. How we doing, Alex? What's on your mind, mate?
I'm doing fine. No, it was just your discussion earlier about the transfer fees and the potential kind of value of the players and everything we've got these days. Just a wee question for the panel. Do you think, obviously it's good business by Rangers tying the guys up so early in their contracts, but do you think it's actually Rangers being astute with their business and tying them up because if they do sell them, they sell them for more money? Or do you think the players genuinely want to go the long run with Gerrard? And is Gerrard tied in a long-term contract as well? Do we know?
2024, I believe, his last deal took him up to win it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, let's be honest about it. Football players, managers' contracts on the roll worth the paper they're written on, are they?
yeah.
If they want to move, they'll get their move and there'll be a deal struck eventually, yeah, especially if somebody's willing to pay the price. But I think we've rewarded success, Linda, and maybe help protect our assets. But if the price is right, anybody will go, won't they? I mean, look at Bridge defending halfway today to keep him here when Sky TV come in for him.
I think you're right, Ox, and a classic example of that is probably Morelos, isn't it? We've rewarded him a couple of times. I might be wrong about that, but I'm sure I definitely remember they increased his wages at least once. And I think he signed through to 2024. So we've rewarded him, but we've also been protecting our asset as well, because obviously last year when was it Lille that came in with 18 million, we weren't prepared to accept that. So the price has got to be right. But I think it's definitely a bit of both. It's protecting their assets, but also I think genuinely some of them will want to stay, Alex, I think.
JFK.
I think Alfie will go, and I think he'll go to Lille, and only because I think they'll win the French league. They're definitely guaranteed Champions League football, and that's what Alfie wanting. And obviously Rangers can give him that next season, next year, but I think he will go. I think
How much?
You've got to start at 20 million, 25 million, mate. You've got to start at that when there's other players I see in English Premiership who I would say only half the player he is. So,
there was a boy for Brighton I've never heard of, and they said it was Arsenal looking at him for 40 million quid. I never heard of him.
Aye, well, there's a few like that. There's a few like that, mate. But
they paid 25 for Tierney.
Aye, I know. Aye.
But don't slag Brighton. They set Shane Duffy up.
Oh, tell the boys that one. You tell us about Duffy. Go, come on, tell us.
The dairy donkey.
Sad and doubtful tidings. Shane Duffy's went back to Brighton. Carry on, JFK.
I just think his time has come, and the fact is that I think we've done everything we can to hold on to him. I hope he doesn't go, but look, if somebody comes in, I think you can forget Leeds. Leeds for me aren't in the equation because they might or might not ever get into even an FA Cup final, but Lille are certainties for Champions League football next season, the same as us. So that might be the carrot that they put in front of him, and obviously the carrot, 40 million film, I'll take it. So I just think his times came in that aspect, mate. No other reason.
Linda?
Yeah, that's possible. I didn't realise that Lille were, near enough guaranteed the league and the Champions League, because that'll be a big pull for Alfie, won't it, JFK? Because you might even think that this will be another stepping stone for him. He said that he wants to play in the English Premiership, but he might need to go to Lille first before one of the maybe top 5 or 6 down there will come in for him in terms of his next move. But let's face it, we've had good value out of Alfie, haven't we? And he'll go with our best wishes, won't he?
Of course he will, because that's what I said, Linda. You know, it's not as if we want to see him go, but when I say his times came, it's only because I think we've done our best to hang on to him at this stage in his career now. So, honestly, I can't see any of what they call the top 6. If we can't, I don't call Tottenham even a top 6, but if they get rid of Harry Kane and they come in from where they go there, I still think Leo would probably be the favourites for him at this moment in time if he does go.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about favourites, we've been joined by Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
Good evening. Oh, fuck, I'm blushing now. I'm like all hot and bothered here. That's just the menopause that's causing that. Anyway. You can't help it. How you all doing? All right?
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, I'm doing all right. I wasn't too worried about the crowds at the polling station today, right enough, but that's a different story. But I think the conversations are getting. I mean, I think the team, as I say, has played great this season all in, and I think we're just getting to that stage of the season now. We're just rocking it out to see if we can get the undefeated, record kept and just get that title. But as I say, we've got the title wrapped up. Okay, the cup was a disappointment, but I think we've played fantastic this season all in. I'm certainly not disappointed with the season we've had. Compared to the seasons we've had in the past, it's been an absolute cracking season. The fans are in good spirits. The club's in a good situation. The finances, well, the commercial side, it's getting a lot better with the rebuilding the Edmonton House and that. So, as I said last night, I think the club's in a great place, and I just think it's fantastic, even more now, to be a Gers fan than it's ever been. But it's always a pleasure to be a Gers fan anyway.
Yeah. Linda, when you come, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely, Amanda. They're all brilliant points that you make. And in terms of the season, as Ox was said earlier on, if you'd offered us the league that we would win it in the 7th of March or the beginning of March, whenever it was, we would have a great run in Europe. We won the group, we got through to the last 16, we made millions of pounds for the club. We would have taken that in a heartbeat. The cups were a disappointment, and I think we all just think we missed the boat a wee bit in terms of a treble. However, the league was the main priority, and they've delivered that. So we're all obviously delighted the fact that we're champions and we're going into our 150th, year as champions of Scotland, and it's so fitting.
I feel like 150 years and 150 years old the time I've waited to get this operation, I tell you. Okay, as I say, things are moving in the right direction for me that way as well. So everything's going in the right direction, and I think, as I say, I just think it's just been a weird season, obviously because we've not been able to get there to see the team ourselves. As we said last night, that's coming closer. It's moving in the right direction, things that way. So I think I'm looking. I mean, the only good thing about this is I get the 15th and the 16th to enjoy, and then I'm in shielding. So I'll get the 15th to enjoy the title party, and then that'll be it. Into shielding. But anyway, as I say, I just think, all in all, Rangers Radio this season's done a great job as well. I think these have kept us all going because it's been a difficult time for everybody, sitting at home, watching games on Rangers TV or whatever they're watching it on, listening to the negative garbage that the commentators feed us about the club, you know what I mean? But anyway, I've said enough.
It was well said there. I agree with every word there, every word.
Can I jump in? Hi, Amanda.
Yeah.
Hi. I totally agree with everything she says there. I've been listening to Snide Radio for the comedy factor, obviously. But last night was a great show because there must have been about 7 or 8 puddle drinkers phoned in, and obviously, and Gary, what's his name? Gary Caldwell was a guest of the show, and you can hear in their voice they're hurting, you know. And I'm not wanting to go into this situation about who should be manager of the year. We all know who it should be, but they would rather that Steven Gerrard won it than anybody else. You know, they just don't want, and you can hear the hurt that he doesn't deserve it. No, it's a training cup we've won. It's a league it was a training league and all that. Just let them bump their gums. You know, the champions are Rangers, 55 titles. We stopped them doing 9 in a row. And people say it's 10. We never stopped any 10 because they only won 8 and the other one was Keaton and a Zoom call.
8.5 titles won at 8.5 or something.
Well, not even 8.5, Amanda. It's 8 titles they won.
Aye.
I know in the history books it will say that they've been given the 9, but really, I don't care. I just like to walk about. And I'm giving them a big thumb now because I'm saying, look at you are all tramps. You're all walking about there with your chin hitting the ground, and it's absolutely wonderful to see. I'm out there with my wee Doug with his red, white and blue jacket on. It's all blue. They don't like it. Whistling the sash. Come on. That's what you want to do.
We were just saying last night about...
Your dog whistling the sash?
I've taught my dog how to play the flute, pal.
Listen, if my sister's dog started playing the flute, I'd be getting a bit worried. But no, I think you're right. We were taking that the other night, just talking about, you know, the puddle drinkers and that. We were saying about the lack of Celtic strips, you see now. The total lack of Celtic strips.
Oh, no.
Carry on, Linda. Carry on, Amanda.
There's a total lack of Celtic strips about in East Kilbride altogether. You don't see any now. They've all went into hibernation.
Yeah, Oxford, I tell you, he was a banger.
I was talking about the guy for the northeast of England.
Yeah, I tell you. Brilliant. By the way, Amanda, did you notice there was a gas explosion in East Kilbride the other day?
Was it George in East Kilbride? Was it George E.K.
That's who was one of them. I was wondering whether he was trying to make a cottage pie again. Blue shit up.
Oh my God. My sister stays in the new flats at the Heritage Restaurant, right? And we were going down to see her the other day, and I thought, Dad, what the heck's going on? We didn't even know the village had an explosion. It wasn't until we get round we realised what had happened. I says, oh, thank God we never went down that road, you know what I mean? But I was thinking about George when he was trying to make his cottage pie. Oh, dear.
Absolutely brilliant.
The image of that ring sting will stick with me forever.
There's a thought.
Oh, dear. Oh, my sides are killing me.
Amanda, every time you come on here, you lower the tone.
Well, listen, somebody's going to, because I'm going into hospital in a few weeks, so I need to get my chat in while I can. It's a private hospital I'm getting into, by the way, gentlemen. I'm not just getting into any old hospital.
A hospital for gentlemen?
Well, it's not a gentleman. It's a hospital, not a gentleman's hospital. I'm getting a bit worried if I went anywhere near him.
Right, well, we're talking about gentlemen. We couldn't find anybody. But we'll be joined by Andy Felix. How we doing, Andy?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone.
Andy, don't listen to him.
No, I never do. Good evening, Linda. Good evening, Amanda.
Andy, nobody
evening, Andy.
You're all right, mate.
I'm not talking to that banger. He's got that Spanish Billy on him there now, so they two can go and stop it.
Spanish Billy. Spanish Billy, the dancer.
That poor Alex Kelly, that poor guy stuck with that, isn't he? Spanish Billy.
I'll tell you what, Ox, he'll be stuck with a lot more if he don't leave me alone after today, I'll tell you. But Jimmy, by the way, that title that we won, it means nothing for what they're saying. They won with nobody in the league. Well, what do they mean? You know? So we'll leave that one at that.
Yeah.
I've not heard the one about Morales. Is that broke about him wanting away?
No. Jimmy just gave his thoughts.
Just for thoughts, Andy.
Right. I know the one down here about Kent. That is gathering massive pace. That they're prepared to go to 25. And they're pumping it out here that there's a 20 million release in Kent on his contract at Rangers, but they're prepared to go higher than that. So how true that is, I don't know, but it has been gathering pace for weeks and weeks that now. So hope that's rang as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Listen, players come and go all the time, and I don't want to lose Ryan Kent, I don't want to lose Alfredo Morelos, but Alec, it happens, it's football, innit?
Can I ask a question on that? Why would any team, if there's a 20 million release on the player, why would somebody come in and offer 25 million?
Because somebody else might come in and offer 21, 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, I understand bidding, but...
Offers over, yeah. Offers over.
Oh, that's cool then, that's cool. 25,
when you put that penthouse up for 1.2 million, you look for offers over, didn't you?
Oh, no, the fixed price of one.
Alex,
I wanted to go back to Jimmy now on about talking about Morelos' potential going to Lille, and then he's got a valid point, I suppose. But there's a big difference between Alfie this year and Alfie last year. Alfie was a frustrated figure last year because obviously we weren't winning nothing. Now he looks in a happy place. We've won the title. I know exactly where Jimmy's coming
he's
from.
He's a father.
But he's a father now. He's settled.
Yeah.
You know, I know where Jimmy's argument is. I mean, Lille, because they're the French league, and if they finish first or second, it's guaranteed straight into Champions League. But I just see Alfie as a totally different character now. He looks far happier. He's settled, as you say. Why should he move on, you know?
Matt, you're 100% right, Alec. You know, my rationale of that is I mean, what if somebody like Leo, I mean, we know that they allegedly bid 16, 18 million the last time that was allegedly knocked back. But what if they did come in with a £30 million offer? Could Rangers refuse that? I mean, that's what I'm looking at, that's what I mean. No, and I just don't want, I mean, like yourself, mate, I want Alfie to stay, even if they offered 50 million for him. But it's a money game now, innit? And if somebody comes in and says, we're going to offer this silly money for Alfie, and I know it's probably at the end of the day, it's Alfie's choice in some way, but Rangers will have a big say in that. If somebody comes in and says 30 million, I think Rangers would grab it, mate. I really do. And I hope I'm wrong in that, but I just think that his time maybe come that way, because I think the way he's been playing this season, even without scoring, Alec, you're right, he's a far, far better player, looks happier, settled, his wife's had the wee kid and that now, so no, let's hope it for us it remains in that good frame of mind and he stays at Ibrox. But time will tell. No, time will tell, mate.
Absolutely, mate. But see, do you know the thing that I've got, the good feeling now, is see the people that's in charge of our club, we trust them now, Jimmy. We trust them to make the best decisions for the player and for the club. Whereas they were just selling anybody, they could get anything before, and Gerrard's done a phenomenal job with a total rebuild. It's credit to him, Ross Wilson, James Bisgrove. The whole strategy of the club now is totally different from when Gerrard came into where it is now. Brilliant.
Totally agree, mate.
Yep.
Talking about guys who've got a price in their head, we'll be joined by the one and only Port Bear. Evening, Port Bear.
A price? What was a hefty price? Must be worth it if it is.
Tom say it me, pal. Tom say it me.
Thanks very much for the support, Biz, man. Always a line, man, mucker.
Hi, Port.
How we doing, folks?
Hi, Port.
Hope you're all well.
Aye.
I was listening to you all, Mad Squad tonight, having a laugh as usual.
That's that Amanda. She lowers the tone. We were having a serious debate and she came in.
Aye.
Tell him the one about Duffy. Tell him that joke about Duffy, obviously.
I think we should have a minute's silence for Shane Duffy getting back to Britain.
Is that before or after the celebration, Oaks?
Oh my God.
Oh, dear.
I'm sending them back early. That's incredible. Oh my God almighty. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Oxtail, actually. You cheered me up again there. I'm going to go on mute.
Bridgeman.
Bridges fell off his suit.
Oh, brilliant.
Sounds like it, man.
Oh,
Bridgeman, do you think the Rangers team should wear black armbands?
I can't believe it. I didn't even know it's still there. It's gone anyway. But they've sent him away. They've sent him away for Celtic. He's only got one game to play.
I'm going to say, I think he's going to line and get some of the t-shirts, the Derry Donkey t-shirts. They'll be
Strike me irons hot, Oxtail. Strike me irons hot, mate.
Oh, cha-cha-cha-cha. Shane Duffy. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Hey, Port Bear, what's on your mind?
God, there was plenty on my mind, Docs, Jay, that I came into this madhouse, mate. No, just touching on something that I picked up on over the last couple of days, Oxtail, in regards to, yet again, Rangers, season's won, and we've not stood still. And I just sort of put it together and realised that all of a sudden we've got 4 players signed already, Oxtail, potentially upgrading what's leaving already. Before the new fresh season starts, right, and Celtic still got a manager.
But I can't name the 4th.
I name the 4. I'll name that team in 4.
Well, you've got obviously you're Scott Wright. You've got Jack Simpson.
Yes, well done,
boy, Adorfo.
Oh.
Adorfo?
Is that his name? Jimmy? I know his name. Aye, that'll do me. And Dammy Adorfo, whatever it is.
Are you not getting mixed up with Big Shane Duffy? He's so awful.
His name is Namdi Obafor.
Right, that'll do me.
And he's cousin to a guy you talk about.
And obviously the last one's Fashion Takala. And you can say what you like. I just think, again, Ross Wilson, Stephen Gerrard, the scouting team, everybody behind the scenes at Rangers aren't allowing us to stand still. And
what's your point? If you were to talk to them, they say, who have they signed for next season? We've already made 4 signings. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, mate. Aye, and they've not got a manager either. Yep.
Great point, Linda. When you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, we brought in, all right, Simpson and Wright we've seen, but we haven't seen the other boys, and we don't know what they're going to be like. But they're getting them in, they're getting them used to the club. He's telling Wright he's got to. What was the term you used the other night, Port Bear? About Wright, he had to get his man body.
I think his man body wants him to bulk up. Aye, he needs more physique on him. Yep, definitely. You can't be built like a jockey's whip when you're playing for Rangers.
A jockey's
Amanda, good man.
Oh, that's terrible.
What do you say, a jockey? You're building a jockey's what?
I'm not even going to make any jokes about the colour grey. Oh, dear. Oh, God. I come on a show, I'm saying to a gaff, and then I bet myself laughing if I come out.
Can you do it quietly? Is there a mute button on your phone? Can you press it? Bridge, show me the mute button is. Linda, 4 signings already for next season.
Yeah, I think Port makes a good point. And also, I don't want to talk about the team from the other side of the city either, Port. However, it's very, what you've said there in terms of what they've still got to do, because you've got to also remember that there isn't a lot of cash. They've not got a bottomless pit of cash there. They might have to try and get more out of the players that they've actually still got at the club. So, it's not a case of, I don't think that there's, 30, 40 million to go out and spend in 10 new players. I might be wrong in that. But also as well, isn't it quite refreshing, Port, that we're strengthening from a position of strength, as champions, and we're not just sitting back and kind of, resting on our laurels, if you know what I mean.
That's exactly what I'm getting at, Linda, because the team for the other side of the city, in my opinion, did that. I think they thought they had a team that would go on and maybe win 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in a row, because they didn't think we'd catch them this quick with our so-called rookie manager. And this is why I believe Rangers haven't rested on their laurels. They've went out and thought, right, a guy like Greg Stewart going to the door, Jordan Jones, Edmondson, in my opinion, will go to the door. And I would say like the guy like Sakala, Wright, are upgrades, say, on Jones and Greg Stewart. You've got Jack Simpson, who's probably an upgrade on Edmondson.
You've got to remember an Port. There's a player there you could include as a fifth player, is Katic.
Aye, well, he's not been there, mate. Aye, I suppose you're right. Aye. But it just shows you, there's guys down where I live,
a fit Ryan Jack.
Sorry, mate, how you go?
A fit Ryan Jack as well, Port, Jimmy, yeah?
Yeah, aye, definitely.
Oh, definitely, mate. I'm thinking of Katic because he's long-term injury.
Ryan Jack's missed 2/3 of the season, mate.
Aye.
And how much Yorkshire as well if we had Ryan Jack? I mean, we know he's been carrying this injury for a couple of seasons. How much have we had 100% of Ryan Jack yet? Possibly not.
No.
You know what I mean? Since he signed the Rangers,
a couple of games he showed what he's really capable of.
Yeah. So imagine him, now they've got the bottom to this injury, if it's a surgery or whatever he's going to get, and then he gets a cracking pre-season and he's at full 100% fitness. I just think, he just adds to what we've got. But I'm just very, very happy, and I still don't believe Rangers are finished. I think these players are upgrades onto the ones that's leaving, but I still think Gerrard will add a level of player for the Champions League, if that makes sense. Which I think is excellent news.
Well, we're 8 that we've got for the back 4, 2 for every position. Will they be happy being at Ibrox, these guys think? You think that they'll be happy of being a bit part player? I mean, you think Tavernier, Bassey, Simpson, Hollander, Goldson, Patterson, Katic and Balogun. That's 8. You've got to pick any 4 out of that 8.
Bear in mind, but Jimmy, you've got Champions League coming up. You'll be playing a Wednesday and a Saturday.
How many defenders did we use this season then? Let's look at it, Jimmy. We used Bassey a few times. We used Patterson a few times. Balogun played a lot. Hollander played. Obviously, Tav.
Goldson.
Yeah, that's 6 defenders played, yeah?
Yep, I agree with you.
Simpson's come in.
Yep.
Yeah, who started playing 7 defenders.
It's keeping all the players happy, Oxy, and I hope we can do that. That's my thinking there,
Could you see Bassey maybe going out on loan? If he's got to maybe for his own development, is he got to go and play football at his age?
I think if he went, he wouldn't come back, mate. I think he's got to prove himself at Ibrox. I don't think he's got anything to prove anywhere else.
What you saying? Diamonds aren't always forever.
Diamonds aren't always forever, mate. Aye.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I see what you've done there. That was quite clever, Jeff.
Talking about songs, by the way. When Big Sakala sticks the ball in the net, I want to hear the David Bowie song getting battered out.
Oh, what the Kinks?
Fashion, turn left, fashion, turn right, fashion.
Brilliant, Jimmy.
What were the Kinks?
Coming to town, beep beep. There you are.
Well done, Jimmy. Well
done. There you are, indeed.
Bridgman went for the Kinks. He went for the Kinks.
What?
Because he's a desiccated follower, isn't he?
Oh, God.
Still not as good as David Bowie fashion.
No, I agree.
Especially as the good squads are at the other side of town. Beep, beep.
Can I ask you, Oxygen, where else can you see, and I want to ask about, guys, no more projects as far as I'm concerned, right? Where can you see Rangers signing where we can improve in the squad and the guys that are going to come in and really challenge the current first 11? I still think the right side's a problem. You know that. Everybody knows that on the show. I still think the right side's a problem.
If you think about it, if everybody's fit, if you go to the squad, all the people that signed now, you've got Sakala, you've got Roof, you've got Hadji, you've got Aribo, who all play there, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, at different times. I think that, surprisingly, left back could be somewhere we could have a change of personnel. I get Jimmy's point. You know, Barisic, he's always been wanting to move to Italy for the day he walked in the door, isn't he?
Aye, he has, aye.
You know,
Roma are massive admirers of him.
They're not going to be spending for him now, are they? They're going all in. That was a strange one, wasn't it?
Aye. I see they've just recently as well appointed Mourinho next year.
That's what's strange.
Aye, yeah.
He got the job the day after he left Spurs. Unbelievable.
He's a money-making machine, mate, so he is.
I know, he's like Bridgeman. Just doesn't care.
I wish.
Right, Andy, we're in a good place. We're talking about upgrading constantly. That's got to be a good thing, mate.
Of course it is. It's getting players in, getting them to know what the Rangers are about, getting them inducted and all that. The Cassidy one, well, that's like a new player for me. But the difference is he knows the score at Rangers. He knows what's expected. So if he comes back injury-free, big and strong, that's like a new player. The left back, I totally agree with the fact that Mourinho has gone there. Well, he was a big admirer of him at Spurs. They wanted him doing at Spurs, was a rumour, so that could happen. I wouldn't lose any sleep over that, as I said before. He's good going forward, but can he defend? No, he can't. So, you know, you could strengthen that area, and a good ball-winning midfield player, by the way. Hey, Jimmy, are you going in a duet with James from Tennessee after that one?
Hey, I don't need a duet. Oxshire will tell you.
Aye.
I've got the looks of Tom Cruise. Hey, I've got the looks of Tom Cruise, right?
No, Jimmy, you picked it up, man. When the guys used to say that to you, he said, you look like Tom with a booze on you.
All right.
It sounded like Tom Cruise. It sounded like Tom Cruise. I can see how you're going to mix
and
up.
It seemed the voice of an angel, but it was actually a voice of an angle grinder. Is that what it
is? Aye, well, I know where Jimmy, I know where the angle grinder comes through with that Mankini you've got on there.
I know. You're mistaken, Andy. Big Stevie's got the Mankini now.
Oh, I've seen you in the Mankini.
Well, you're not sharing it, Jimmy.
No wonder you're tight.
I tell you one thing, if Amanda and Linda saw me in the Mankini, they'd be swooning.
You're right.
Amanda, take no notice.
You're right. You would be looking for a bucket.
Did you say swooning or spewing?
Aye. Remember, there's no pockets in a Mankini.
Listen, you leave that man alone. Leave him. Stop picking on him.
Aye, and Jimmy, there was no in the middle neither. Never mind the pocket.
I'll have you know, Andy. My nickname at school was Tripod.
Try hard.
That's because you had 3 legs.
3 legs and a big nose.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm going to go before I pass out with the heat laughing, right? I'll see you later. Have a good night, guys. Bye. Bye.
See what you've done to that poor woman, JFK.
Well, cheered her up. That's what it's all about.
It's great that we're all laughing. Bridgeman, innit? We're in a good place. With just 2 games to go. Everything's positive. Season tickets are moving. The club are striving forward.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. And that's what you're hearing tonight. You're hearing happiness. The Bears are happy. And they've got everything to be happy about as well. Obviously we're living in hope here for the next 2 games. So we need to win to the Bears. We need to win. But obviously we don't need to win. But if we want to get to the 100 points and shall we say undefeated in the league, you're taking everything off of them. You've emptied everything that they've had on their side of the city. We've emptied it this season. There you go. We've scored more goals than them. We've let in less goals than them. All the things that you could ever think of. Brendan's gone, and so have you. What's the one? Who was it? Who sung the other one again? We broke Scott Brown. Scott Brown is broken. I think that's a Celtic.
Alex
is broken.
Aye.
I do.
Oh, he stole the show with that. He stole the show with that. Aye. Oh, he's well in front of James for Tennessee. I don't think James at Tennessee would get in the top 10 chanters on. What do you think, Alex?
No, you're right. You're right.
When did you know? He's due on his guitar, isn't he?
He said he's going to come on for the last show of this season.
That's
we told him
right,
it was next Tuesday, but it's actually next Monday.
Very good.
Oh, Sherry, remember the boy with the guitar that phoned in for Luxembourg the day we won the title?
Oslo, wasn't it?
Oslo, Stevie Oslo.
Stevie Oslo.
Even he was better than James.
Aye, and he was the singing.
And he was murder. Sorry, James.
Bridge fell asleep one night and he sounded better than James did.
I in my sleep, I'd do it right enough in my sleep. I'm with Jimmy. I thought Jimmy was brilliant there. Absolutely brilliant. Turn to the left. Fashion.
Oh, it's some name later, isn't it? It's some name. It will sell shirts. It will definitely sell shirts.
Depends if it's in the fashion or not.
Will he use his first name or the second name?
Oh, it's got to be fashion, isn't it?
Aye.
Oh, so I was reading the Sun today, and it gave you a good interview with the boy. Do you know the boy's actual real name is Timothy? So, no wonder they changed the fashion.
We'll forget about that,
No, not another Timothy. Please.
He must have that in his contract, Alec. Yeah? Just get rid of that name, son.
That must have been like that.
I think John Gregg.
That must have been like that Ricky Fulton sketch when he came out. Oh dear. Aye, but listen, I've not seen much of it. I watched some of the stuff on YouTube, but you don't know what you see them in the flesh. JFK, every signing's a gamble, innit?
Yeah, we've all done that in the years gone by when the YouTube's become what it is, and that we go in and look at players, and obviously you only get the wee snippets, but he looks apart. Look, he scored 13 goals this season in Belgium, so he's a decent player, and so we just need to take it. Was a free transfer. You can't ask for any more than that, mate. Just so we'll see what happens. You know, I'm happy as Larry. I'm really happy that we've got him. Oh, definitely.
You've really nothing to lose when you think about signing a guy, you know, like that. I mean, you know, you get him on a free. You've got him on a 4-year contract. You know, if he gets exposure with playing in Europe, you know, playing the Scottish League, and he does no bad, but maybe just didn't quite cut the mustard, you can put him on for 2 million, say, you know, after a season or after 2 seasons, and it's still 2 million profit in the bank.
Yep.
But you know, he's for me what I've saw him.
2 million less wages, remember? 2 million.
Aye, sorry, yep. He looks to me, you know, he's blistering pace, which I think will always stand you in good stead in your league. And obviously he's got a goal, but his assist rate's pretty good as well. Jimmy had 11 assists as well, which I thought was pretty impressive. And he could play anywhere along that front three. So again, it gives you a different option.
Here's a question he's on then, yeah? No too hard, because I've looked at a panel, apart from Linda, it's not very bright, right?
Right.
So we've signed 4 players. What's the total we've paid for these 4 players?
It's got to be less than $1 million, mate. It's got to be. It might even be less than 500,000.
Okay. I can't believe he's come on here and he's don't know the answer.
They all freeze.
Free transfers, right?
She might be right.
I thought about the cross-border stuff.
Oh, of course, it could be a fee for cross-border.
They're too old, aren't they?
Oh, actually, they were 23, yep.
Please, Portbear, if you're going to come on here, at least do your homework.
Yeah.
You're leading me astray, Portbear.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I apologise.
But you've got to. But you think about it. We've basically signed him for back for a wee deal, and I think we've actually got some money off Aberdeen, right? Still, but we cut it back. They 4 players. In theory, they've improved our squad, Alex Kelly, and we've not spent a penny.
Just fantastic work for Ross Wilson. He obviously scours not just the UK leagues, but across Europe. He's finger on the pulse wherever he's got the contacts. As I said to you before, I've seen plenty of Scandinavian football as well as the Belgian leagues, and there is decent players out there at the right opportunity to bring out the UKLs, because they see the gold mine in England, and if they use us to get there, then that can only be good for us as well as them if they prove to be a quality addition.
By the way, I think Ross Wilson's been in contact with Fox, because Fox scours the internet for talent, but I don't know if
Very good. Very good. That's brilliant.
You go to different bars, though.
I better not say anything about that, Ox.
Poor Fox.
Poor Fox. But it is a good point Alex makes, and if we do sell them on even in a couple of years' time, the club's made, money. And when you think back, in our troubled times, we had basically very little player assets at all, and it was bargain basement players that were coming in. And one of the reasons why we're actually attracting all these players as well, and I'm sure you all agree, is because of our manager. He's got a massive pool in terms of all these players wanting to come to play for us. And let's hope, we've got Stevie G for another few years. But as you say, Ox, we'll just need to see where that takes us.
Aye, that's always the case in football, and it is, you never know what's round the corner. It's like life, I suppose, isn't it? You never know what's round the corner. But aye, nothing will signed these 4 players for Andy for Leeds. Yeah. We don't know how good they're going to be in real terms. We've not seen enough of them, but it's on paper, it's good business, eh?
Yeah, it's good business. It's not costing. And if we go forth with even a couple of them, and they move forward and learn how to adapt to play in Scotland and play for the Rangers, then it can only be good for our club. I like what Chinda's just said there. I like the Scandinavian market. They're a bit rugged, like our kind of race. So they tend to adapt pretty well, going right back to Big Orange Person there, right enough. So that's a good shout there. If we were looking down that line as well.
Once again, I'll say it. I think it's Fox again. He did study the Scandinavian market as well.
do you know what's good?
Chief Scout.
What's good about the transfers, guys? I think it was Port Bear or maybe Alex said earlier on. We're not experimenting anymore, right? We're not bringing players that they're not getting a game at Liverpool or whatever, and I know we had to do that at the start, but I think some of the players we've been bringing in the last season have been real quality. And I mean, we'll bum up Sakala, the new right fashion Sakala. He looks the part, and let's hope he is. But definitely, Scott Wright is going to be a fantastic player for us in years to come. A great player. And we know what Nathan Patterson come through the ranks and all that. No, can I just say something about Nathan Patterson? I mentioned Nathan Patterson on here a couple of years ago. Myself, my big pal for the drum, we went on our scouting missions ourselves, watching the young boys perform in the European Europa League, and he stuck it a mile.
I know it's coming.
Yeah.
That nose of yours is getting bigger, Jimmy.
I'll let Port Bear tell you who first mentioned Nathan Patterson on here. Port Bear.
First person I heard, Jimmy, was Oxchair, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not speaking to you anymore.
That was a year before, after the final at Firhill, Jimmy, when he played for we beat them in the, I don't know if it was the Glasgow Cup or the Youth Cup. The Youth Cup. We beat them, and the boy had appeared, and he looked a talent. But I know you said the same thing when you were up there along with the boy. You also picked on the boy Kai Kennedy, remember?
He did.
Kai Kent,
Nathan Coombs and Nathan Coombs as well.
Yep. Maybe some of them, Jimmy. Can you see an Oxtear in regards to Fashion Sakala? Obviously, when Ross Wilson and all the footballers, all the ones that watch quite a lot of football in here will know this. When Ross Wilson was at Southampton, he seemed to always be dipping in the African market. He seemed to always rely on all the players in the African continent. Obviously, with that tournament they play every couple of years. And if you look back at some of the players that he's brought to Southampton, who are the bigger and better things, Manny, he brought him in. That was one of his signings. The boy Janepo now, who he bought for, I think it was 4 million, and he's rated at worth 20 million now. And obviously, you know how Manny's worth about 90 million now as well. So he does seem to go and find these wee raw diamonds throughout Europe that played in the African Nations tournament and stuff. And some of the guys have come on to work out very well, mate. That's why I trust Ross Wilson with some of these, a lot of his deals he does, mate.
Listen,
can I ask a question, also?
Yeah, on you go.
It's about the players you were talking about. So what we're saying is we've signed 4, or is it 5 players we've signed?
4 players already, yeah.
Right, we've signed 4 players, and you say it relatively for nothing, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And how much did Duffy cost?
Listen, Bridge, I do the jokes on here.
I can't believe it.
I think he cost him about 5 million quid. The time he paid his wages and his signing on fee, and all the T-shirts they made that nobody bought.
the dairy donkey.
And just look at Jack Simpson. Even what I've seen of Jack Simpson, who we got, as Oxtear's pointed out, on a free, he looks a better player than he does. Just gets it's beggars belief.
I have to believe you there, pal. I have to agree with you.
What about this player that Jelavic is trying to get to Rangers?
Young boy, he's a project. He's about 17, 19.
18 he is. Rocco Simic.
Rocco, yes.
You've came a long way with your language, ain't you?
Well, I don't swear as much, mate. But I've always been bilingual.
These foreign players just roll off your tongue, don't they?
Oh, they do, mate.
The one that's exciting me, Jimmy, I don't know if you've probably seen it, because I know you've got your finger on the pulse, is the boy Verman.
He's not his finger on the pulse, he's not got his thumb on it.
For Heron Vane. But they're talking 8.5 million, but the PSV have dropped it because of the figure, but Rangers still are in talks, I'm led to believe.
I find it hard to believe the Rangers would spend that type of money unless by bringing a lot more than that input. So I don't think honestly, I don't think we would go and spend 5, 6, 7 million unless we'd sell a couple of big players.
If we'll pay the final instalment to Liverpool and we'll pay that deal off, you go forward.
Yep.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, Anyway, by the way, what a night, what a laugh. I don't know if it was planned that way, Bridgeman and Linda, but it just went that way. I'm blaming Linda. What about you, Bridge?
I do, yes, 100%. 100%.
Look, when women walk in the room, and no disrespect, Linda, it becomes carnage. You and Amanda just caused this here tonight. Just need to settle yourself down now.
I thought she was quiet too. I thought Linda was quiet.
Amanda's been called a lot of things, but never quiet. Linda, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, great show, great chat, lots of great points, and thanks to everybody that called in. It was a brilliant show tonight. Enjoyed it.
Well, Bridge, we've reached that time of the evening. Mucker, over to you.
Oh, what can I say? Well, again, I'll repeat what the guys have said. Fantastic evening, brilliant laughs. Pat was excellent, particularly the jokes about the deli donkey. That's brilliant, the deli donkey. Anyway, can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is keep it going for the Rangers, because we're all in for it. Keep it going, because they need us. Keep it going.
Thanks to Amanda, thanks to Andy for Leeds, the one and only JFK, and the one and only Port Bear for joining us. Of course, our good friend Alex Kelly. More importantly, Bridgeman and Linda for helping host the show, and All School Blue and Fox, who's sitting in the background working away to keep the show going. Thanks to everybody who joined us tonight. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. We'll be joined by the one and only Jaffa. And I think the subject tomorrow night will be paying tribute once again to Shane Duffy. Thanks for listening. Take care. Speak to you all tomorrow. Take it away, old school boy.
Now, Dunbar, McCready, forward to Meikle-John, to Dickey, back to Cunningham, and it's Morton over to Young, a neat pass to Brand. He hits it on, and yes, it's a goal! Listen to that Ibrox crowd roar as Rangers start the new year with a wonderful goal. And listen to Callum Kennedy as he sings with the crowd, the Rangers Chorus.
Have you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? They're admired by all who know them. If you saw them, so would you. Loved by all, they are good sportsmen. For fair play, they top the pole. There's a roar that beats old Hampden when they score the winning goal. On the slopes of dear old Ibrox, thousands gather for the fray, and they're glorious and victorious when the Rangers win the day. They have played way in Monaco, they have played in USA, but the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. It's the home of famous heroes, and their praises have been sung. Willie Waddle, Tory Gillick, Alan Morton and George Young. So when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, may they scatter all my ashes on the slopes of Ibrox Park. With the angels I'll be singing,